Rest on, Preston. Oh, Preston. For the glory and the freedom of home. You were paving the way with the light in your smile, with the love in your heart, in the eyes of a child. Press on, press on.
Hey guys, Laura, coming back to you again. I'm so honored to bring on my next guest, Deborah Allen. I'm just going to bring her on, and then I'll talk to her about why I love her so much. Welcome, Deborah. How are you?
Laura, I am so glad to be here. I'm doing good now that we got hooked up. You know, I kind of hit a little bump in the road, but we got here, didn't we?
You know, that's all that matters. It's all that matters is how it ends up, and there can be bumps on the road getting there or coming back, but it all works out. However, exactly it works out. It has been almost a year since we've seen each other. We saw each other at the Country for a Cause during CMA Fest last year, and that was the first time I met you in person. I mean, I have followed your career, and I told you this, that I followed your career as long as I can remember, loving music. And I'm going to say it again, because you are so sweet and just the most authentic and sweet, nice person. I adore you.
Well, Laura, thank you so much, girl. I adore you too. I mean, we hit it off that night at Country for a Cause, and it's just so good to be back here with you, and especially for another amazing cause.
Yeah, you know, the Love Lives On project is what we're going to talk about as well, and started off with. I talked with Andy Griggs last week, and that was the first interview I did on the whole Love Lives On thing. Okay. Until I started doing research about it, I didn't know about the program that Love Lives On. TAPS is what's funded by that, and TAPS being Tragedy Assistance for
survivors.
Yes,
Tragedy
for the surviving
program for survivors.
Yes, and that they've celebrated 25 years. And I thought, wow, you know, one, I should have known about that. Two, I'm glad I know about it now, but what an amazing project. So tell us about, because your single on there is On Preston, and it was Private First Class Preston Brown, if I got that correct.
Yes.
Tell us about working with this, because you were a co-write on this one as well as the voice of it.
That was what's so wonderful, you know, to be a part of this project with so many great writers here from Nashville, and to be invited by Frank Myers, and then of course his co-producer, also amazing. They worked so well together, Jimmy Nichols. They put together some of Nashville's greatest writers, and to be part of that, you know, I was listening to you talk to Angie Kay, and she feels the same way. You know, it's like to get to be among your peers and also the upper echelon of your peers. That in itself is amazing, but beyond that, the whole mission of this project is phenomenal.
Well, and
I was wanted to say, I've got Preston. I'm wearing.
I noticed that, and one of the things I'm gonna share a little video here, just a clip of it in a second. Right. But one of the things that really caught my attention, but did not surprise me about you, was that while you were singing and recording the song, you had Preston right there with you.
I did. I don't have my lyrics with me right now, but I have this huge page, 3 pages. I wrote it out huge because sometimes I'll get lost in a song, and I didn't want to be like searching for the words on a little tiny piece of paper. So I had it written out huge, and I had him pinned to one of the pages so I could look at him and always remember every moment that track was being played and that I was singing. You know, the whole purpose and the whole reason that I was there at all was to honor him and his service.
And it was and it's so amazing, the whole thing, and to be able to bring his life story to us in a song. I know for his family had to be unbelievable, as well as I know it probably was very painful to have to tell it, but so rewarding at the end to have this legacy for Preston to continue.
Yes, it really was. I my co-writer on the song, the other songwriter from Nashville was Greg Barnhill, who I just love. Greg, we had written together several years ago, and we had a great chemistry. And he had sung on a couple of my songs in the studio before, so we knew each other, but we hadn't written
Right.
together in a long time. But I place Greg way up here. He's way up high on my respect ladder as a songwriter, and so I was really looking forward to getting together with Greg. So as we were walking into Starstruck Studio, we were kind of talking softly to each other, and I just said, "Did you get anything?" He goes, "I got a couple of lines. Did you get anything?" Well, actually, last night I said a prayer. I sat down and I just said a prayer. God, please give me something worthy to bring forth, for this project. And I got a few chords that some of which, we definitely used. And then I don't know why it just popped in my head, On Preston. And for a minute, I went, was that cool? What was that?
Yeah.
So, don't question it, just roll with it. So then I got inspired and started writing. So Greg said, "Yeah, read it to me when you get inside," which I did. And Greg said, "Well, I think this is really right on it, Deb. He goes, let's get in here and get to know the family, and then I'll ask you to read it." And I said, "Okay," which is what we did. And I'll be honest with you, meeting a family that's had that major of a loss, especially his mom,
Yeah.
to go through that kind of loss. And when here's Preston's story. Preston was shipped overseas and he served his time. He came back and everyone breathed a sigh of relief. He was home, back in El Paso where he was stationed. And Stephanie, his mom, said, he just really liked to play basketball. That's what he loved to do. He was playing basketball a lot. But one night, some of his friends said, "Hey, come on, man, come on and go out with us." So he took a break and went out on the town with some guys. And he didn't cause any trouble. Somehow or another, some trouble broke out.
Yeah.
And the next thing, his friends said, "Come on, let's get out of here." They were in the process of getting out of there. And the next thing you know, a bullet was fired, and we don't know if it ricocheted or what, but it went into it. It went into the top of his head. And,
Wow.
And they called him. They called his mother and told her, and she just thought, "Oh, well, maybe it's just a car accident. We'll go right away." But when she saw the severity of it, she knew that it was really bad. And his brothers CJ and Shay, Shay is in the military too, and so they knew the language that was being spoken when they were being told what was going on, what the prognosis was. And so the next thing you know, they were asking, "Would you like to donate some of his organs?"
Yeah.
And she said, "Really, honestly, Deborah, at first, the reason I said yes was kind of, I thought, well, they'll have to keep him alive a little longer. Maybe he'll wake up." But of course, he never did wake up.
Yeah.
But the beauty in that is that Preston has 5 of his organs, and other live people that are here on Earth fulfilling their purpose with
Right.
his
So he was a hero in more than one way. And I can't imagine. I have a son, so I can't imagine having my son home safe, and then to lose him, especially in an unexpected tragedy like that. That is, you almost would, as his mother, you'd almost, if you got the call while he was not home, it wouldn't be such a shock. It would be, but I mean, you're almost, I know as a mother, I'd be waiting for bad news. And if my son was gone.
She was definitely not expecting
right,
news
right.
because he was home safe and sound.
Right.
Anyway, his heart is in a 70-year-old man.
Oh.
Hey, but I want to backtrack to the song just a little bit to remember about how it all came about, because I don't want to give the impression that, I just want you to know that that is a song that we all five participated in so much. I was a little bit shy about reading it because of the gravity of the whole
Yeah.
situation.
Yeah.
Losing your son and your brother, so I was just felt very reverent about reading it. And then they were going like, yeah, yeah. And then they had such Stephanie had some really insightful tweaks that she did to it. She goes, instead of saying left us, can we say you were taken? I went, oh my gosh, that's so much better.
Yeah.
So there were just, that's the neat thing about writing songs. You can have it laid out there, but when you get inside of it, it's a lot of the smaller
Right.
things, like just changing it from you were taken to, whatever I just said.
Right. Right.
Just
You
the
left
small-
us to, yeah, you were taken. Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
and yeah, you left us to you were taken. Also, Greg had some great insightful things, and even though he liked some of the chords that I had, he got an urge of inspiration, and there's a passage in there that's totally so Greg, and it wouldn't be the same song without. So, and CJ and Shay were in there also. They were also, it was a total giving project from all three of us. And when we left that day after writing that song, we had a bond. I think we'll always have a deep bond that we would have never gotten if it weren't for Taz.
Right. Right. And his family will always have that song to and be a part of that process, which I think is wonderful. And we're going to try and get some of the parents together and the families together this weekend and see if we can't talk with some of them, because I think it's important, as we hear from all of the artists who participated, to also hear what it meant to them as well. But I love the song.
Thank you.
I'm gonna share this screen just real quick because I
Okay.
want to show just a little bit of this process in
You
this
look
video.
so pretty tonight. It's so good
Oh.
to see you. I feel like we're sitting right here in the same room.
We are. We're just making it look like we're social distancing.
Not at all.
But you look gorgeous. What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? I got my Preston tag on.
Let's see.
This one here?
So many great artists on this album. Such a great album.
Unfortunately, a lot of us know people who died serving our country.
Though he's gone, he still lives.
This album is a wonderful gift. The songs are amazing. They're written with love and written with families and friends of the people who've lost their lives.
This young gentleman's name is Josh, and I wrote with his parents. I learned everything about him that day. He was a fearless young man.
He lives on one dog tag at a time. Joshua 1-9.
It's about Preston. That's our soldier. That's our fallen soldier. I like to look at him when I'm singing. I like to be reminded of why and where this all came from. Press on, Preston. Oh, Preston. Press on. The freedom of home. It took me feel free to make a little
I have no problem.
Most of those guys in that room are great friends of mine. They were on fire in there today. They were dripping heart and soul.
Okay.
Golly, just going back there and seeing that has just got me just about crying here. That was just
got my tissues.
that was so amazing.
Well,
and seeing Jimmy in there, boy, well, I wish you could have been there when we did those background vocals, and Chip and everybody.
I mean, the song in and of, I wish I could have been a fly on the wall, because one, the artist talent that was there. Vince Gill, Oak Ridge Boys, Gatlin Brothers. Every and I'm getting a joke here from a friend of mine. She says Laura has her tissues. Yes, I do, Christy. All week it is like I've got my box over here because all week that's what it's been. But I think that's what this is all about, and being able to have those emotions. And I think I can relate to it. Being a mom and just in general, I can relate to that thought of, oh my gosh, I don't know what that would be like, but I know that it would be such an honor to have like any of you. But I adore you, and so my affection kind of just sticks with you quite a bit. I was like, Deborah's on this. Oh my gosh.
Thank you for saying
Okay.
that. Thank you. There's so many great artists. I'm like you. There's so many great artists on this.
Yeah.
And great songwriters. I mean, really, to be honest with you, that's why that night before, I had been real busy up until then. And that night I thought, man, I need some help on this thing. I can't go in there with nothing. God, please, Lord, help me.
And he did.
And you know what? He did. That's the fun thing about God and about Jesus. Really, you just remember to ask and you shall receive. So,
yes, ma'am.
And I just think that, a great song was going to happen that day. There was no way that we couldn't have written a great song because we're writing about a great person who is willing to give his life overseas. It just so happened that it turned out different for him.
Right.
He was taken when he was back here.
Yeah, and I at the end of this, I know that your schedule is very tight today, and that I appreciate you being here. I know you have a couple other things to do, but I do want to talk about real quick because I want to play the press on Preston. I'm going to play the song at the end of this so people can hear the whole thing. But I want to talk about your current EP.
Okay.
Because I was so happy to hear about this.
Thank you.
Now, did I get it right that you're going to release one so this is the ones, let me make sure I get it right. You did this to celebrate your 40th anniversary in songwriting and performing. And this is, look, I'm sitting here. Oh, The Best You've Never Heard.
Yeah.
Volume 1.
Laura, it is my 40th year, but really it's probably maybe a few more than that. But hey, who's counting, right?
We're going to say 40, and we're going to
That's right. Let's say 40.
stick with it.
Yeah,
40.
It is called The Best You've Never Heard because I love to write songs. I was so fortunate. Shel Silverstein was my songwriting mentor and got me started writing songs. And his belief in me, when he showed that belief in me, that's a story unto itself. But the minute he did, I was like, well, I'm a songwriter now.
Yeah, I mean, over 2,000. 2,000 songs that you've written.
There's no way I could ever put them all out there. And I get frustrated too when I do shows because I wind up doing a lot of the same songs a lot of times. So this is also a great outlet for me, but I've been finding out that people have been excited about it. So that's cool.
Well, yeah, we love the songs that that we know, but we also love the songs that are coming out now because they're re-releases of ones that you had, but we didn't get to hear them. So
yeah, they were just, I want to show you something. Have you got just a minute?
Yeah.
I got something here pretty fun. The song that I had that we featured off of off of it, because you always feature a song off of
What a World.
Yeah, What a World, What a World. My friend Teeny Hodges, who wrote Love and Happiness and Take Me to the River, he used to go around saying that all the time. He'd go, what a world, what a world. And so we said, man, we got to write that. So we got together with our good friend Roger Cook, who's also another amazing songwriter. He wrote Long Cool Woman in a Tall Cool Woman in a Long Black Dress, and I'd Like to Teach the World to Sing. So we went over to Rogers and wrote it, and then we went down to Memphis and recorded it at Royal Studios, which is where Ike and Tina used to record, and also, of course, Al Green recorded all this.
Yeah.
Well, my cousin lives in Memphis, and she's an artist, so I called her up, and her name's Lori. I said, Lori, you're such a good artist. I wish you would do one of those quirky Memphis paintings that you do with that quirky Memphis style and do it to my song, What a World, What a World. Well, she did. If you go on,
that's the video.
We've got another video coming actually with some pretty cool surprises in it that's going to be coming up anytime soon. But she made a video of herself painting. I want to show you the painting she did.
Because I was watching some of that, but oh my gosh,
can you see it? I can't see it.
There you go. Oh my gosh, that's beautiful. And it is absolutely Memphis quirky. I love it.
It is. Her name is Lori Cook. She's so talented, and it just, I mean, I nearly cried when she gave me that too, because, you know, I'm excited at this point, you know, like having been in this business this long, Lori, now I've got Lori.
That's okay.
Sorry. But you know, I just feel like that's why when Frank invited me to be on the album, it meant so much to me. I was going like, well, you know, I've been so fortunate. I've had a lot of songs out of my own. I've had a lot of wonderful artists record my songs, and that has been amazing. But at this point, I've always wished that I could be one of these zillionaire who gives millions of dollars to someone, you know. But so this was just a wonderful way to give back to a wonderful cause. And
well, and you do so much though too. I mean, and I'm watching the clock, so I know, because you made me promise I would keep you on schedule.
Well, we might fudge a smidge.
Okay,
but I do stay punctual.
You did the 90 ukuleles that you donated to the Children's Hospital at Vanderbilt, and because children and music are so important, and I totally agree with that too. I think there's a lot that can come when a child is introduced to music at a young age, whether it's playing in school or kindergarten. Music is so important in all of our lives.
It helps your mind. Also, I want to give credit to also my friends Shane Farmer and Debbie Garay, because they have a brand new thing that they're starting called Instrumental Roots, and they asked me to be their spokesperson on that.
Okay.
And I was going down to the hospital to read my Christmas book, The Loneliest Christmas Tree, to the children. And so we'd been kind of looking for somewhere to give the ukuleles to. And that's another story into itself. But that was another way. I've been really getting to be, you know, fulfilled in that way. It's a level of fulfillment. This, you know, just having a big hit, and, you know, it's always fun and everything. And I sure wouldn't turn it down ever. But at the same time, I think one thing that what our whole world is going through right now is a big slowing down and a big eye opener.
A reset.
You know, there's so many things that are so much more important in life, you know. And
oh yes, absolutely. I'm gonna have to reschedule another time with you that we can talk more, because you have so many stories, and I know, and I want to hear them just myself, but I know that so many other people, because you have a huge fan base and they love you, and I know what that's like, because before I got to know who you are as a person, I'm still a fan, but you're so beautiful inside and out. And I thank you so much for everything that you do to give back and to share your gift that God gave you with all of us, because it's amazing. And I wish you nothing but the best, and I hope to see. We're going to be down in Nashville in a couple of weeks just to kind of escape and have dinner with some people. So I may call you up and say,
okay,
why don't you come with us?
That sounds fun. I would love to see you. I would love to see. And you know, we're really just neighbors. You're just in Kentucky.
I am. I'm 2 hours and 15 minutes away from you right now. So
where in Kentucky are you?
We're in Shepherdsville, so right outside of Louisville. So not too far away.
I have a friend that lives in Lexington, and I have a song coming out. I can't tell you what it's about or what's up with it. All I can say, it's hotter than the 4th of July. We're real excited about it.
Okay.
It's a song I wrote with my friend from Louisville, Greg Forsman. He's an original member of the Hammerheads, and he played with me out on the road for quite a while. And then he went to when I kind of wasn't on the road some more, he got the opportunity to play with Martina. So I was always happy for him about that.
Right. Well,
but that's another song that's going to come out.
So see, that's another opportunity for us to talk about it.
Yes, we'll do it.
All right. I love you so much. I'm sending you kisses and hugs, and I will see you soon. And while I let you go, I'm going to run the Press On Preston song for everyone to hear that.
Thank you for your support for TAPS, because it is such an incredible organization. And let me just say, I've got the CD in my car. Every song on there is a song about a personal story, about a father he wrote. I'm in love with this album, and I can't even believe that I had the opportunity privilege to get to be
It
a
is.
part of it.
It is so good. And any time I can ever help with promote anything, I will do it. So I love you bunches, and we will see you very, very soon.
Thank you so much. I can't wait.
Okay, bye-bye. Hey guys, Deborah had to run. She's so busy, and she had some other things to take care of. And I'm just so honored that she got to spend some time with us today. I do want to, I'm going to finish up this part of that video that we were just watching. And see if I'm going to pull it up here for you 1 second, because I want to make sure that you get the Press on Preston full song. And here I am going to try to type while I'm talking. Doesn't always work real well, but that's okay. This is, let me get it pulled up here and then I can share it with you all. There are so many. If you go to the Love Lives On YouTube, you can see a lot of the everybody's story, every family's story that they shared. And it is heartwarming, and to know what they gave for all of us is amazing. I'll share, let me share this here real quick. This is the story behind the song Press on Preston that his mother was able to participate in sharing with us. So let me get the share screen up here for you, and we'll get that one started.
Preston he was just one of those bubbly type people. He loved everybody.
Anybody that ever met him, he always left a lasting impression on them. And they say he was always just the sweetest guy they've ever met.
He was a soldier stationed at Fort Bliss. He had done his basic training at Fort Jackson, which is in Columbia. After he'd done all the training he had to do, that's where they stationed him, was El Paso. And that was around 2011. The next year, he returned home, visited us for a week, and after that, that was basically our last time with him, and that's when we got the phone call.
When he went back to El Paso, actually got back from overseas and back in the States for just a short time, and he got hit one night by a stray bullet.
I gotten a call from his commander, and they said he'd had an accident. So immediately, I just assumed maybe it was a car accident, he'd be okay. Then the next words were that he'd been shot. And then everything after that point was a blur.
You sort of prepare yourself when someone goes overseas. Okay, something might happen. You don't want it to, but it might. But when they come home, you sort of breathe a sigh of relief, and you think, okay, we're home free. He's back, but that's not what God had planned for him.
Every night I went to sleep, I would think about him. Every morning I woke up, I thought about him. And that went on for months at a time. It was an adjustment. We went from the four of us to now it's three. But I can say that as a result of his death, that, I donated 5 of his organs. So 5 lives were saved. And in 2014, we had the pleasure of meeting his heart recipient. I get a lot of joy out of that, and just knowing who he was. He was just that great person who cared for everybody, and it helps me cope on a daily basis.
I never met him, but I feel like I met him when talking to his family and how they talk about him and how good of a guy he was. And you can just tell that that he spread a lot of joy.
It's just really a gift to get to sit with someone who's been through such a great loss, and then they're able to be strong enough to share with you and then turn it into something great and healing, like what TAPS has to offer.
Deborah came, and she actually had words written down, and she pulled so much from The bio that we sent, everything that she read about the family and about Preston was in that bio. And, you know, we were able to actually add our own touch to it, and they were able to bring it in and tweak it. But it was amazing.
It just reminds us everything about him. It's his, come on, press on, keep going, keep getting up. Let's keep moving. We got this. And even for us, that was one of the things we can remember about him.
It's something that I can say I'll never forget. To just know that there's a song that has his name in it, because a lot of times people would say his name and then they would apologize. And I would say, I don't want you to apologize, because they think that it hurts me because they called his name, but it doesn't. You know, I love it to know that you thought about him. And I know it's something that I will always cherish for the rest of my life.
Oops. There's been a lot of technical difficulties tonight, but that's okay. That was the story behind the song, and Deborah shared some of that with us earlier, but it's great to hear that from the family too. I do want to, in closing, remind you to visit TAPS, taps.org. And I'm going to share this next. This is the actual, it's just the song, the audio for the song, Press On Preston, that Deborah Allen did for Private First Class Preston Brown. And you all make sure you go out and get the video, go out and get the single. The whole album is all available to stream and download. Thank you all for watching.
It's been such a long time since you've been gone. I still carry your letter that carries me on. And I still dream about you every now and then. And I guess I always will until we see you again. A soldier of love, you were born for a purpose. Yeah, man on a mission and a life in service. Strong and courageous, so unafraid. You held on to your faith every step of the way. Always ready and willing to be a good friend on your sacred journey to protect and defend. Rest on, Preston. Oh, Preston, for the glory and the freedom of home. You were paving the way with the light in your smile, with the love in your heart, in the eyes of a child. Press on, Preston. Press on. It was so unexpected, the way you were taken. We were not prepared for how deeply we'd be shaken. It was so all of a sudden, so out of the blue. Oh, and we cried and we prayed, Lord, please don't let it be true. And in the depths of our souls, we were flooded with pain. But down in our brokenness, we called out in faith. Rest on, Preston. Oh, Preston, to the glory of your heavenly home. And take your place with the Father who made you his child. We will all be together in just a little while. Rest on, sweet westward, press on. And I know God's got you right there in his arms as he shines his light down on us and protects us from harm. You'll always be our hero, never far apart, 'cause we'll always keep you here forever in our hearts. Press on, press on, Preston. Oh, press on, the glory and the freedom of home. Keep on paving the way with the light in your smile, with the love in your heart, and the eyes of the child. Press on, oh, press on, press on, oh, oh, press on. Come on now, press on. To the Father and the Son. Blessed one, blessed one. I know we're gonna see you. I know we're gonna see you again. I know we're gonna see you. I know we're gonna see you again.